The next Lee and Ian podcast is approaching the station. Please step aside.
And welcome to the Lee and Ian Show. I'm Lee Navlin.
And I'm Ian Grodman.
The Lee and Ian Show is sponsored by Grodman Law and Mediation. Remember, when it comes to divorce, family first. Mediation is the way to go. Grodman Law and Mediation. The Lee and Ian Show is also sponsored by South Orange-based psychotherapist Amy Cox Martins. Amy can help you or a loved one find solutions to life's most challenging problems. That's Amy Cox Martins. Hey, Ian, are you looking for something fun to do in September?
I'm looking for a lot of fun things to do in September, Lee.
Well, you should check out Sarah Hod and the Drive. They'll be appearing at the Bitter End in New York City.
Wow, how cool is that?
On September 6th.
Fantastic.
Tickets are available.
Very good, very good. It's a guest from the show.
A guest from the show. So, Ian, if you
when
want...
I was stuck in Alabama.
When you were stuck in Alabama,
Yes.
Sarah Hod was here.
That's right.
So
That's
now you
right.
have to go to the show.
I'm going to go.
It's your way of saying Sarah. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
So what you want to do is you want to go to sarahhodmusic.com.
Got it.
You can get tickets there, more information on some of her other shows. And
So sarahhodmusic.com.
yes, and if you caught her at Maple Woodstock,
Yep.
she's outstanding.
Beautiful.
She's outstanding. So, Ian, very excited about the guests we have
Me too.
today. The Community Coalition on Race has so much to do with SOMA, the lifestyle that we all adore, diversity, culture. It's a truly inclusive home for all.
That's right.
Right, Ian? So,
And the Community Coalition on Race has been a big factor in making sure that we have that.
that's right. I think they're the biggest factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we are honored to have the executive director of the CCR, Nancy Gagnier, join the Lee and Ian Show. Hello, Nancy.
Welcome, Nancy.
Hello, Lee and Ian, and thank you for those accolades for the coalition.
Well, they're well deserved.
So, Gagnier, is that French?
That is my adopted name when I got married, and my husband's family's from Canada. They're from Detroit, but French Canadian.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, Detroit's a lovely city too. Yep. I guess he would be a Tigers fan, a Lions fan.
If he were a sports person, yes, but he actually in early years worked for the Detroit Symphony, so that's a better description of who Pierre is.
My wife would love to be married to someone who's not a sports fan. She says it every Sunday during football season.
Maybe she'll hang out with Pierre.
Right. And yeah, that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
and not me. But I guess, Nancy, we want to talk about the CCR so much. Over a 25-year history, the CCR has done so much for SOMA.
Mm-hmm.
We had Ken Pettis on a few months ago.
That's it.
And Ken was talking about when he first came to the area looking to buy a home. And he's black family, they weren't showing him homes in some of the white neighborhoods.
That's right.
This is going back 25, 30 years ago. It stuck with him. Now, Ken ended up getting involved with the CCR, I believe.
That's right. And also Fred Perfetta, who's also been on the podcast. Fred Perfetta and Ken were founding trustees.
Yes.
Right, and Ken said it was steering, basically. They were steering him away from the white communities. The CCR comes along, and they say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Let's talk a little bit about what your organization did back then and what you continue to do.
Sure. So I joined in 2008. So the period that you're talking about is prior to my leadership at the coalition, and I definitely stand on the shoulders of the founders and founding executive director, Barbara Heisler. Realtor steering was a huge issue. I moved here with my family in 97. My parents were raised here. They're Columbia High School graduates.
Okay.
Wow.
So I had I didn't experience steering within the community. I experienced steering, you should move further west.
Right, okay.
So all the realtors that we worked with were like, oh, you want to be on a train line? You want New Providence, you want Berkeley Heights, you want Morristown. And after a few months, we said, wait a second, we need it downtown. And we need a place where, like, we see people
Right.
and diversity. And one realtor looked at us and said, I'm taking you to Maplewood.
Good.
And we never looked anyplace else. Maplewood and South Orange. My family has lived in both towns.
Mm-hmm.
So where were you
Since-
raised? You were raised?
Partly in Maplewood and then West Orange.
Oh, West Orange. You graduated from West Orange High School.
Yes.
Right. So that's
Oh, I
interesting.
didn't
Your
know
parents
that.
are Columbia High School graduates. Your kids are Columbia High School
Yes,
graduates.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you would play West Orange, Who you root? I know you're not a sports family, but
Right.
how about that? Would you be rooting for West Orange or no, Columbia?
When
all
I
the
was
way?
a high school student, it was all about the high school you were in.
Yeah,
that's true.
definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
But to go back to your question about steering, so that was an important part of the early days and continued the work with realtors. The coalition did realtor testing. They sent out pairs of couples who were looking for homes to see if this was an ongoing issue. And of course, most people know that it's part of the code of ethics among realtors not to do that, but human beings do what they do and they have their biases, and it continued and may even continue to today because of those biases. But we have done some trainings. Realtors reach out to us.
That's great.
We've worked with them. We've done some unconscious bias training with local
Very
realtors,
good.
which has been great. So they've been very wonderful to work with and open to learning and understanding.
Sure.
The situation today in SOMA is a little bit different. I think Mayor DeLuca a couple weeks ago said something during the township. Former Mayor DeLuca, pardon me.
Yes,
he's on the township committee still. Sorry, Mayor Nancy Adams. But he said something that really caught the attention of a lot of people. He said the home prices right now are very high. A home sold, I believe, you said 1.1
Hilton Avenue for
1.1.
1.1 million.
Yeah,
Yep.
and God bless the homeowner.
Right.
That's great news for them. But he's saying maybe we're going to lose the fabric of what this community has built up over
Sure.
the last 2-3
It's
decades.
a very good point.
How does the CCR address things like that? Is it addressable? I guess.
It's such a concern for everyone because not only do we want racial diversity, cultural and ethnic diversity, all the kinds of diversity, but socioeconomic diversity is important as well. We tell people all the time, please do not tie socioeconomic diversity and racial diversity. They are separate things. So we're not saying, no one should say, oh, if a house sold in that neighborhood for a high price, that means now that people of color can't move to the community. That's a false equivalence, and we shouldn't be making that.
Right.
And I'm going to make a shout out to Michelle Alonso, who was
Our guest
your
last week.
guest, because I agree with her. We've worked together on a couple of things here and there. It's hard to control market forces.
It's very difficult.
So we look to the township for zoning laws, ordinances, and even that is not going to control real estate prices. But it might have some effect on growth and sprawl, or how much apartments are going for. One thing I will give a shout out to both of our townships. They pay strict attention to affordable housing units.
Yep.
And they are meeting and exceeding
Yep.
our requirements. Many communities are not. So that's a positive, but that is not going to undo the rise in housing
not.
prices.
Yep.
There is a housing shortage,
Yep.
and people will pay what they can pay. We live in the greater New York metropolitan
That's it.
area. We're on the Midtown Direct.
Right.
It drives up prices.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's location sometimes.
That's it.
And this is a key location. We're near New York City. We're not far from the beaches. Newark Airport is a few minutes away.
And it's a desirable place to live.
Desirable
Yes.
place to live.
Yep.
So the apartments that have come up over the last couple of years, we just talked a little bit about, we are meeting and exceeding the affordable housing criteria.
Yes.
Which is good news. But some of these apartments, they're rather expensive.
Yes.
But what happens is people could pay $4,000 or $5,000 for an apartment. They say, I love it here. I'm staying here. I'll pay $1.1 million for
Right.
the house.
Right.
So I guess that's just other areas that make it a challenge for the fabric of who we were,
Yes.
making the fabric moving forward.
Yeah.
As far as the CCR is concerned now, you've been 2008, you said?
Yes.
17 years. 17 years for an executive director.
I know it's a long
Is
time.
pretty impressive, right?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
most executive directors do not last that long. So that says a lot about Nancy.
I love my job.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I work with some of the best, most amazing people.
Yep.
volunteers, staff, it's amazing.
Now, what's changed the most over the last almost 2 decades for you?
What's changed the most? Okay. Right now, we have one founding member on our board, Robert Marchman.
Wow.
And I am so eternally grateful for his presence and wisdom. But the community grows and changes, and it's good to have new and fresh voices. But it is a kind of an inflection point for us that we're not guided by people who have who were around long before I was. Audrey Rowe was our program director for 23 years. She retired last year.
Yeah.
Sadly, we lost Carol Barry Austin, who passed away in January. 2 outstanding voices, contributors. Again, I'm grateful to have Robert. So we are, at a little bit of a pivot point in who's leading and who's running things.
Now, when you talk about Audrey Rowe, a voice, singing voice, you're talking about, right? That's a talent in the family, Ian.
It's a talented family. Yes,
It's a
indeed.
talented family. Yes.
She's amazing.
And for those who don't know who are listening, Audrey Rowe is the mom of SZA.
Yes.
Right. So it was an absolute superstar.
Yes.
So was Audrey Rowe.
Yes, she
Yes,
was and is.
Audrey absolutely
And
is a superstar.
Yes.
Yep.
And Barbara Heisel you mentioned as well. Is a
Yep,
good friend of
another
ours.
superstar.
We love
Yes.
Barbara Heisel. But that's the thing. The CCR was built on Perfetta and Heisler and Gagnier and Pettis. And it's just, it really was a who's who of people that just go out and do the volunteer work and they get involved and they want to make a difference.
Yep.
And I that's what I sometimes worry about the future with all these inflated home prices. Are people going to come here and look? I'll cut you a check, but I'm not gonna go to the meeting. I don't have time for that. Is volunteership down?
I wouldn't say that it's down, and we need both. We need both.
Right. You need
Both
the
kinds of
financial
supporters.
side too.
We need the people who are like, I love what you do, and I've got a big job, and yes, I will make a contribution. We're always looking for all kinds of donors. And we have lots of volunteers, and I wouldn't say that volunteerism has gone down. I think this is a community of activist people who want to have a voice, want to play a role in what they came here for. So whether they're volunteering for us or Achieve or Mend or sitting on their PTAs, HSAs, people are active, and that is a great and important thing for a healthy community.
Now, your executive committee, I just want to give a shout out to your executive. That's Anita Gandana,
Gandana, yes.
Elizabeth Baker, Carol Barry Austin, as you mentioned, Robert
Yes.
Marchman, Terry Martin is the vice chair. And you got a board of trustees. You got a large group here. John Kerner. I teach comedy, or I think John took my class actually.
I love John.
Yeah, is he funny? Because this
She's
is,
laughing.
I need to. All right, good. Okay,
Yes.
John,
That's
if you're
a good
listening,
laugh.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a great shout out to John. John is a marketing communications guy who's supported our marketing committee for a number of years, and is now running our Luminary project, which is
that's
a
great.
really important community gathering effort and fundraiser for us. So big shout out to John.
And maybe just tell people who don't know what the Luminary Project is.
So the Luminary Project was started in maybe 2015, 2016 by a great group of women, including Patricia Canning, Liz Testa, Marty Remy, Jocelyn Ryan, and they gathered a bunch of people, including Girl Scouts and their kids, to get people in the community at the end of the day on Martin Luther King Day to light luminaries in front of their homes. And we also do it in community spaces like around the Meadowland Pond as a sign of solidarity with Dr. King's message about creating the beloved community, which we're all about.
And I mean, it's a great community building experience as well as a fundraiser for the Community Coalition on Race.
No,
Yes.
sure. Yeah, I was thinking Severance, Lumen Industries. Did you watch Severance? So that's what I was
Yes.
thinking. I was like,
That's scary.
right. I was thinking, that's what I was thinking. John Kerner, that makes a lot of sense. You know.
And I thought some other people might think the same. So that's why I asked Nancy to explain.
Right. You
Yeah.
don't remember what
Yeah.
when you go to work for the
Right.
the CCR. You forget about your
That's it. Steve
your-
Carell,
yeah.
he's here in Maplewood. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but of course, Malia Herman, just a name. I know Malia is now on the township committee, but I
Yep.
know getting involved with the CCRs, I think, is what gave her the drive to want to do even more for the community. So that's what you guys are now. Things have changed since 2008. Facebook has grown, and with Facebook, so has Facebook groups. Which has become a big thing in SOMA. What's the relationship with CCR and maybe some of these other groups? Do you work with them? Is it, or do you look at yourself as maybe a little bit different than a?
We are, there are so many groups, and each one has its own lane.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
And
yeah.
we have our mission. We try to stick to it. We do have a Facebook page. It's mostly for announcing events and things that are coming up and what we're doing. Or if we put out an advocacy statement, we try not to engage too much back and forth on our page because we are powered by volunteers with just 2.5 staff members.
Yep.
None of us have been full time, so we you could spend your whole day on.
That's right. It'd be very easy
Facebook
to do that.
responding and
Yep.
arguing with people. So, and we try to have collaborative relationships with other groups that are doing some of the work that crosses over with what we do, like the faith communities and SOMA Justice, SOMA Action, some of the schools groups. We don't always agree,
Right.
but that's okay. And we have different approaches
Yep.
to achieving sometimes some of the same ends.
What I love about the CCR and is reading your website, it's all built on positivity. I don't like, for instance, your mission to build and sustain a community that is racially, culturally, and socially integrated and truly inclusive, where there is equity for all. Basically, we inspire to be a community that is a model for the nation. It's all about we can be the best, we can be great. Is that just part of who you are? Because is it just, hey guys, this is about positivity. We're not looking. Is that my phone? Yeah, I better take that now. I told everyone, make sure your phones are down before we start the podcast. Right, I was very clear about that. But yeah, so just your leadership. I mean, is that just something that, hey, if you're going to be in the CCR, this is a good mission. This is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally my
I
outlook.
would say
Yes, Ian's
all the
looking at me.
years
He's like,
I've known Nancy, she is an incredibly positive person, always focusing on the positive, always believing that things can be done. That's absolutely the case with Nancy as the executive director.
yeah, I like people to get along,
Yeah.
to work toward positive ends. I like collegiality and to be collaborative. No matter what I've done, when I was on the school board. Now this is over 20 years ago. I felt the same way about
Yep.
that. Any work that I do, I feel like if it's a collegial
You bring
atmosphere.
that. Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about schools, let's talk about children. And I know one of the things that the CCR kids notice race from an early age. I mean, this is something that you guys have been on top of, certainly since you've been the director. You want to talk a little bit about the schools and the good, the bad, and everything in between. I mean, it's certainly, the SOMA School District has made the national news.
Yes.
Yes.
It's made the international news. It's for better or for worse.
Right.
Yeah, I think that is Carol Bowery Austin's legacy. I think in with the coalition and with her personal work to always raise the issue of equity for students of color, and to always be her role at the coalition was so much a focus on this is a benefit for all children. This is not a zero-sum game. We all benefit from integrated classrooms, from treating children equitably, from raising everybody up, from providing the supports to the students and families who need it, to fair and equitable parental engagement and
Yep.
outreach. And I think we are at such a great moment now, poised to see true integration with all the schools. We had it with pretty much with the middle schools. Of course, the high school brings everybody together.
Right.
Now with the elementary schools, we still need to find our way with full, truly integrated classrooms at the
Right.
high school and all the supports that all students need so that they have access and equity.
Talking about the school boards, you got some elections coming up in November, I guess, right? And you have one of your events is going to be the debate, right? The school board debate, I guess.
Yes.
Which how long has the CCR been sponsoring?
I'm going to say we're in our 20th year of doing
Wow.
a Board of Education. We call it a forum rather than a debate.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
We do, it's very focused on questions connected to our mission. So other groups do debates and have broader questions that, affect the community and are of interest to parents. But ours are completely focused on the mission. So all the candidates will come, they get, each one gets a question, it rotates, and then they can present their positions, and then we take questions from the audience as well.
Right,
And that will take place, by the way, at the district meeting room on September 18th, Thursday, September 18th at 7:30.
September 18th
Yeah.
in the school board district office.
Yes.
All right, and I believe there's 6 candidates.
There's 6
Yes.
candidates.
Yeah, 2
Yep.
teams, 6 candidates, and you don't endorse, right?
We cannot endorse. We are a 501c3.
Yep.
We do not endorse political candidates.
They're
We can
legally
advocate for
restricted.
positions,
Yep.
but which, and you asked earlier about, controversial things. And
Yeah.
I would say some of the school advocacy has been some of the most, gotten us into
Yeah.
hot water here and there.
Okay.
Because we have taken strong positions on school, on racial equity and school and classroom integration. So,
That's part
but
of your,
there we are.
It's part of your mission. It's
part of our mission.
It's part of your mission.
But it's also part of why people move to Maplewood and South Orange, right?
Yes.
Sometimes people do get upset about their children taking a bus to school, for example.
Yes.
But people who are moving to Maplewood and South Orange know the commitment that we have to racial inclusion and equity in Maplewood and South Orange, and the CCR is, reminding people that covers every aspect of our lives.
Exactly. We ask people to live into it.
Yep.
We always talk about the fact that people say, you ask people, why did you move here? The first
That's it.
response is
Yep.
for the diversity.
Yep.
Well, we need you to live into that. It
Yep.
can't just be this concept, free-floating concept.
Right.
It has to be attended to. That's what's behind that term, intentional integration.
Yep.
I know one of the things you're also you've made it a criteria. You support a successful, diverse teaching staff.
Yes.
Okay, so that's something that's very important to you. So in other words, Ian, I guess when new teachers come to the district, you might spend some time with them, kind of reviewing things that are important to the town, our diversity.
Yeah, we've done a few things over the years. I know the school district, very much like many school districts, want a greater diversity in their teaching staff. It's been hard to attract. It's an expensive community to live in, even if you're living in surrounding communities. It's hard, on a teacher's salary. The number of Black teachers of color, has diminished over time. So we've tried to support the school district with many things, going to diversity hiring fairs, hosting our own. We started it, then the district collaborated
great.
with us. I don't know where that is now. Hopefully we can bring that back. I think that kind of dropped by the wayside a little bit during COVID. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, no,
there.
it's amazing. It's so basically, because teachers come to the school, they're young, and they want to be, this is a big career for them,
Yeah.
and this is an opportunity. But, this is a district that cares about their black children. They care about their white children. They care about all the children.
That's right.
I'm not saying there are other communities that maybe feel differently, but there are other communities that feel differently, I
Right.
believe.
Right.
I think
one of the things that the train of thought that I lost a second ago was to say that we also used to, and sometimes still do this, meet with new teachers during the teacher orientation training so that
Good.
we can talk to them not only about the coalition, but remind them the breadth of the community, the diversity. It's not just racial diversity. It's also, we have a high number of foreign-born residents. So there are language barriers. There are transportation barriers for students and families to feel fully included in the community. And sometimes if you're working in a particular building, you think, well, this isn't a big deal. You live down the street or you live nearby. It's totally walkable. Well, there are strains on families, and
Right.
we want people to understand
What's
that.
the percentage now of foreign-born residents in Maplewood and South Orange? Do you know that number? Because, I take an interest from my immigration work as well.
You're asking me the hard questions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say it's like 20%.
Okay,
like
that's
it's
what I thought.
really
It was around
high.
20%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Michelle Alonso last week might have.
Did she?
Did we touch on that? I thought we might have touched on that a little. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think she said 25%. So,
Okay.
so we'll say 22.5%.
There we go. Yeah. Somewhere between 20 and 25. Yes. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But the things you guys think about. For instance, I know a guy. He's a friend of mine. He lives here. He's got some young children. He's black. His wife is white. Biracial children. And he says it wasn't always easy. They still get the looks. They'll be down the shore, and and he's getting the dirty look, and he's like, "What's going on here?" But again, these are just things that you guys think about, and you help educate these families, perhaps. On that, on being that, on being that biracial family.
Yeah, I would say, families of color, people of color in the community still experience that even within
Maplewood and South Orange.
yes, 100%.
Yep.
It's sad to say, but it's part of the work that we have to do. The work doesn't go away. We always say, people often ask us, like, when will you be done? When every neighborhood is integrated? No, until we can, get rid of people's unconscious biases, their conscious biases, and how they act on those things. This is not going away. Systemic and institutional racism is still with us. So, we want to bring people in and, engage them in things like, I'm going to give a shout out to one of our long-term trustees, not a founding member, but she's been with us a long time, Barbara Velasquez. She leads the deconstructing or anti-racism workshops for community members. So if you're interested in learning about these things, about privilege, white privilege, how to be an anti-racist, how to be an ally, we run these workshops every year, so look for them because a lot of people leave and tell us, I thought I was like one of the good people.
Right.
But I learned so many things about my own biases and how to counteract them.
Yeah, I know Barbara, very interesting woman. We butted heads online a few times, Barbara and I. And then one thing about Barbara Velasquez is, she's always very focused and very logical in her thinking. And you always walk away saying, "I just learned something." Even though you felt she was wrong and you were right, I feel she's one of these people you just always learn something from.
100%. And that anti-racism training, by the way, we also do this. We provide this. The staff does this, and we're looking for more people to train to help us bring these trainings out for local businesses. Organizations will show up at your board retreat. We worked with the Maplewood Police Department. We worked with the SOMA Adult School. We will work with any group. We worked with JLOSH, the Junior League, a number of years ago to help assess their attitudes and biases.
An important organization to get involved with. Yeah,
that's awesome. nationally. Now, I know this might not be within your scope of your charter, but I think we're at a point right now where we're
Yep.
seeing what's happening in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely.
I'm just, and this maybe has nothing to do with the CCR, but I'm just curious your thoughts on the country right now and your concerns about. I mean, it seems like the
This
work
is
you've
a
been
test
doing.
of your positivity.
Yeah,
now.
the work you've been doing. There's somebody in Washington right now in the White House who would probably look at you and say, "What are you doing? That's not how you do it." You know,
Yeah.
and
Well, our conversations on race this past May was about the assaults on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we are very focused on that. And our theme as we move forward this year and into 2026 is Don't Erase Our History.
Good.
So we're really trying to stand on the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging policies, approaches to everything, as we say at the Coalition, in all areas of community life. So we are thrilled when places like Seton Hall, they've been a great supporter, and we had one of our speakers on that panel, is the diversity, equity, and inclusion. I don't know if her title is Dean.
okay.
She was on that panel. They are maintaining that position.
great.
Our school district is maintaining
Yep.
some of their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Our community is standing firm on that. The Community Coalition is standing firm on that, and we hope that other places will as well. So,
Right.
but it is a challenge because we're always, like many nonprofits, paying so much attention to. We don't get federal funding, so we're not going to be. We don't stand to lose funding, but we could be attacked for the specific work that we do.
Yep.
And I will, take a moment to raise here our Wealth Gap Equalizer loan, which is still a legal loan because it is part of a special purpose housing program. We do offer loans that are directed toward historically underserved communities, and that is Black and Brown within Essex County. So if you are buying a home or know someone who, if you are a person of color who is buying a home in Maplewood and South Orange, you are eligible for a $7,500 loan, and now we've increased two of the loans to $15,000.
That's
So
great.
because of the
That's helping with like down payment assistance.
yes,
and,
down
right.
payment assistance, or you can take the loan to reserve. But people, these homes are old, so
Right.
people who
They
have
need work.
concerns that like, I have to replace the boiler or the
Yep.
roof after I move in.
Yep.
You've got some funds to do that.
Very good.
And how can they apply to that?
They just go to choosesoma.com
Okay.
or communitycoalitiononrace.org. Both of our websites have information on the loan. The choosesoma.com website is a targeted marketing website to attract in-movers. We want to grow our pipeline of Black and Brown in-movers to South Orange and Maplewood,
Great.
and that is a place where you can find out about the
Very
loan.
good.
Awesome. This question comes from Nancy Adams. She wants to know who do you like, her or Sheena Collin better? That's
I love them both,
Okay.
and they
There we
know
go.
it.
There we go.
that was a trick question right
yeah.
there. Yeah, we love them both too. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And again, that gets back to just the fabric of SOMA. I mean,
That's
we
it.
have you have Nancy Adams and Sheena Collin and Victor Luca and Dean and Daffis, and you just so many great people that want to get involved, want to volunteer. Ian Grodman. I tried to volunteer, but I lost. the
So
election.
you've
Yes,
heard
yes,
me
yes.
switch back and forth. Sometimes I say Maplewood and South Orange, and sometimes I say South
Right.
Orange and
Smart,
Maplewood.
Right.
So is
We're
it
there.
SOMA or MAPS?
Very good.
SOMA or MAPS?
Very
I guess
good.
there again. Right?
I'll take either one, and like I said before, I've had family in both towns.
There you go.
Since the early '50s. So
And I think it's important to point out too. What Nancy was talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Which to me, it's hard to imagine that anybody could be against diversity, equity, and inclusion. But both our governing bodies are still very committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and have to dance that fine line about their commitment to it with a federal government that is threatening withholding funds. And I give them a lot of credit for doing that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a challenge. But, when you go to their the CCR website, I mean, again, the positivity blows me away. This is right on your page. Looking for a new place to settle, we may as well admit it, we're not exactly objective about our town. There are 17 beautiful parks with ball fields, tennis courts, playgrounds, jogging paths, great sledding. You love SOMA. You love this area.
Yes, we do.
Right, and I think that's ultimately,
Yep.
sometimes maybe gets lost in the,
Yeah.
the schools and this and that problem and the commute and the trains. But at the end of the day, this is the CCR says this is one of the greatest places to
It's
live.
a great place to live.
Yep. Absolutely.
Coffee houses. Ian, it's art galleries.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Ian, you're into art, right? You're an art gallery
I'm
guy.
kind of into art. Yeah.
Yeah, we do this integration through the arts program, and that really is one of Audrey Rowe's legacies. And we continue that. A couple of years ago, we focused it on what she called integrated arts circles. So it's a way of bringing together over a shared interest to build relationships.
Yep.
So the focus is always on you got to have a mixed group of people
Right.
and build social connections over this shared interest in the arts. And it's a way to also support local artists.
Absolutely. Very
right.
important.
Yeah. To volunteer at the CCR, how do you do it, and what's involved?
I would go to our website, communitycoalitiononrace.org, learn about our different committees. There's a contact form, and you can also email us at soma@communitycoalitiononrace.org. And what's involved? There's everything from one-time projects to monthly committee meetings. So community engagement is is our mission focus area. That is outreach to the community, conversations on race, the Dr. King event, integration through the arts, the anti-racism trainings. Those are all subcommittees. So
Yep.
you can be on a subcommittee that does that. In fact, the Dr. King planning is starting in September. If you love that event, want to be part of that, and the Luminary Project, they're connected, let us know. We'll get you on that committee. Starts in September, the day after Dr. King's birthday. You're done until next year.
There we go.
If you love the monthly meeting and I want to be all in, we're also taking applications for to become a trustee. So if you have that interest,
Fantastic.
we are looking to grow the board as well.
Yeah, and I see you actually have on the website volunteer openings. So you actually post volunteer openings.
That's great.
Specifically. So it's a place if you want to get busy. You want to make a difference. It sounds like if you want to make
That's
friends too. It sounds like a great
Yes.
place to make friends for life, and I'm sure you probably have.
We were just at the schools committee meeting last week, I think that was. That committee has grown. New people, new voices,
Very
some
good.
longstanding members, and so social and
Yep.
positive, even as we are dealing with some very serious issues. So, and I will, since I raised the schools committee, they are doing an education forum that will take place either late October or sometime mid-November to talk to people. So many people are new to the community. They don't know the journey we've been on over 30 years to integrate schools and
Yep.
why this is so important and why busing might be the
Right.
best way to achieve this,
Yep.
is the best way right now to achieve this. And all of our false starts
Right. Because there have been a
and
few.
abandoned programs
Right.
over the years.
Yep.
And we all who have been here,
That's it.
Ian
For a
and I
long time,
definitely
we
know how much has gone by the wayside.
Sure.
And, so we feel so strongly that we are at a great point, and there will be an outside speaker coming to talk to us about the importance, again, as Carol Barry Austin used to say, of excellence and equity for all students.
That's great.
That's awesome. And we briefly touched on some of the events you have coming up. The Integrated Art Circle mural, which you mentioned, that's September 15th on Monday. That's a Monday. The BOE Candidates Forum, as you mentioned, the Integrated Art Circle Opera
Yes.
Exploration,
Wow.
September 22nd. What's that about?
So that is with Lori Brown Mirabal.
Yep.
For those who don't know her, she's an internationally known and amazingly talented opera singer and a teacher. And she and a co-producer of Gabriel's Daughter,
All right.
Very good.
which we showed last year on Juneteenth. We did a screening and a panel talk. So she will talk about different opera forms, and people will learn and talk and
That's great.
engage. It's not about singing. This is about learning.
Yep.
I bet you will get to hear Lori. Lori can sing.
Wow.
Sometimes
All right.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a 4. It starts on the 22nd, but it's a 4 session series.
Okay. Okay.
As is the murals, I think, is a 4-session series, and mosaics just ended, and I think that's it for integrated art circles for this year.
And you also have the Celebrating Integration, Rooted in History, Rising Toward Justice. That's on Thursday, October 16th at 7 p.m. at the Orange Lawn Tennis Club.
Yes, that is our
Very important.
annual gala fundraiser. A fun time. We will be honoring Audrey Rowe
Oh, great.
and doing a special memorial tribute to Carol Barry Austin. We have Essex Funk Collective.
Okay, they're awesome.
They are amazing.
awesome,
They
yeah.
were at Maplewood Stock as well this year.
Yep.
Lots of people dancing to them. So come out and support us with the donation of attending the event and meet people who
Very
love the
good.
coalition and socialize and dance.
Yeah, and if you
That's
haven't been
great.
to the Orange Lawn Tennis Club, it's a fantastic place.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. So these are just great events that you got. I mean, so what do you do when you're not doing this? Because I can't imagine you having much time to do anything other than this, because this is a busy thing you got going here.
So you're asking a personal question?
Yeah.
Tell us about Nancy
So-
Gagnier.
All right.
So let's talk about Nancy, right?
I
yes.
love to read, so my background is actually an academic background, and I have been in a book group with wonderful Maplewood and South Orange women since like 1999, I would
That's
say.
great.
All right.
We're reading Cavalier and Clay. That's our big summer read.
That's funny. I just pulled that book out of the bookshelf yesterday. I read maybe 100 pages of it a few years ago, and I said, I never finished it yesterday, so I just...
Yes. Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
that's
it's good. I'm
It's
enjoying
like,
it so
It's like
far.
700 pages, so it's yeah.
It's a long one.
Yeah, the Lower Manhattan, right, I believe, if I recall. Yeah, because I'm going back. I think that's where it kind of
Yeah,
kicks
yeah.
off.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely reminds me of some of my family background. So
Yeah,
it's very interesting to me. So yeah, I love reading. I love cooking. I've been in a dinner group also since about
that's cool.
2000. With most of those couples have moved out of the community, but we still get together. We're
That's
getting
great.
together next week. So I love to cook. Cook and read and garden.
And garden.
Yeah.
And 3 children. We talked about this
Yes,
earlier. So
yes.
your 3 kids, and they all went through the Columbia High School.
Yes, they
Yep.
did.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, I know you were talking earlier, 2020 was with your middle son, I believe.
My third child
Yep.
graduated during the pandemic.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep,
So
and
what
then-
was that like, just navigating that?
That was tough. You
yeah.
know, that was hard for everyone. And I know that, people are still feeling the effects of that. They have, fortunately moved on, graduated from the Mannes School of Music. My
Good.
middle child is
Very
a
impressive.
Rutgers girl and now at Jane Street. And my oldest is in graduate school in Binghamton.
Very good.
Now, Carlos was what year during when school?
Carlos graduated in 23.
23. So in 20,
Yeah.
he was like a freshman, I guess.
He
right?
was, his freshman year was virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I used to call him generation, 0 right here. This generation,
Yep.
because you guys were learning differently than generations
That's
prior
it.
to
Yes.
you.
That's
know,
it.
And
Yeah.
I will say again, bringing it back to the community. When Julian graduated from high school, we got the sign, and
Yeah.
then we did the cowbells.
Yes.
More
I
cowbell.
remember that. Yeah.
Our whole street. They were the only one graduating from Columbia that year
Yeah.
on the street, but the whole street came out,
That's great.
did the cowbell,
That's great.
and I know that happened all over both
Yep.
towns. And
I
it's
remember
again a
that.
testament to people being supportive of one
Very
another.
much so.
yeah. No, I mean, as far as again, my son, we had one 2017. He graduated, and and I've said to my son, since he struggled in school a little bit. You're a bright guy, but whatever it was, it's a big school. And I said, if we could do it again, would you prefer private school? Would you? And he said, no. He said Columbia High School
Yep.
was,
Oh, yeah.
in Maplewood, and
Yep.
And and I get sad sometimes. He thanks me for buying a house
That's
in
nice.
Maplewood. Yeah,
That's
so-
nice to hear. Yeah.
because he dragged us out of the city. Actually, we had just signed a lease for another year in New York City, and then my wife was like, I'm pregnant. We had like a little 1-bedroom apartment.
Yep.
I was like, oh no,
That's it.
So
Standard
anyway.
trajectory.
Ours come back, all three with partners to our little house for Maplewood stock for the whole
Very
weekend. It's
nice.
full commitment. We're out there
That's
Yeah.
great.
all day, both days.
That's
Right,
great.
yeah, recruiting.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yep. Now the new library that just opened up. Have you had a chance to visit?
I haven't, and sorry, Robert and Sarah, because they've been after me, and I will be visiting.
Thursday night tour. With the
I
Hilton
can't
Neighborhood
wait.
Association.
I mean, I've seen pictures. We're just so excited about being able to use
It's
this space. It's
amazing.
beautiful.
Yep.
And, kudos to everyone who put in so
Yep.
much time and effort
Yep.
and funds to support that. And I know South Orange is now on a path to
Yep.
do the same.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that library is.
It's a beautiful space, and there's great spaces for the coalition to do their work there
Yes.
too. So it'll be really a great pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ian, anything else we
I
want to
think
discuss?
that's
You
it.
think we got it all? Anything you wanted to mention? Sometimes.
Maybe remind everybody about the fundraiser.
Yeah, the
I'll remind
fundraiser.
you about the fundraiser October 16th. It's a Thursday night at Orange Lawn Tennis Club. Special memorial tribute to Carol Barry Austin, honoring Audrey Rowe. And we definitely look to volunteers. We look to the community for support. Come and learn with us. Come to our events. Come volunteer.
Yep.
We are here and doing the
Excellent.
work of intentional racial integration.
Beautiful.
Nancy, I can't thank you enough. You were a tough person to get in touch with. I know you're very busy, so we got it. We got it
Yes.
scheduled, and we got
We're
you in.
glad we had you here.
And,
Thank
Thank you both.
and all
This
the
has been a pleasure.
All the wonderful things people have told me about you, that they were true.
That's it. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, because it was the same thing when I started doing this with Ian. People are like, oh, you should do it with Ian Grodman. He's wonderful. And then it turned out he wasn't so wonderful.
Right.
He's like, why did I do this?
That's right.
He was bragging about you before you got here.
that's
Ian.
nice. That's nice.
Yes, that's right. Well, Ian was a few minutes late getting in, so we had some extra time to talk.
Thank you, construction in Maplewood.
Right. Ian shows up with a scarf, and his sunglasses.
That's it.
Right? He says, "All right,
it.
go."
We're ready to go. I'm here. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Countdown. 3,
Right.
2. Ian Grodman is here, ladies and gentlemen. But again, Nancy, thank you again, and I guess Ian.
Thank you, Nancy. This has been great. We really appreciate
All right,
it.
so
Thank you both. It's
Yep.
been a pleasure.
Yep.
So again, for more information, you can check out the Community Coalition on Race, their website, right? It's the
Community
website.
CoalitionOnRace.org.
.org, right?
And the other website was
ChooseSoma.com.
All right, so check out those websites for more information. And until we do it again, Nancy Gagnier, Ian Grodman, Lee Navlin. Good night, everybody.
Good night.